What's good, YouTube? Glad to see y'all. How y'all doing? Hope you having a great day here. I got another article for you. Cointelegraph, dated July 3rd, 2020. Bank of Japan will begin experimenting with the digital yen. This is going in my central bank digital currency playlist. I just want to really aggregate all the articles coming out here because I know some of you guys don't catch all of them, but there's a huge amount of central bank digital currency articles from various nations. I just saw Thailand, Japan, China, US, Lithuania. Um, there's a bunch of them I'm not even like remembering right now, but this is a thing, right? The world is moving towards digitization. It's going to include at some level decentralized curries in tandem with curries, decentralized currencies in tandem with centralized currencies, aka CBDC, centralized or central bank digital currencies. So I'm gonna get into this here, but it really just talks about Japan. Japan has a long history in digital assets. Their population is very familiar with it. They're very comfortable in putting large sums of money and even investing retirement funds in this thing. So that's a little background as to the tone and the history with Japan and digital currency. So the Bank of Japan has announced it will begin experimenting with central bank digital currency, or CBDC. The bank stated that it would check the feasibility of CBDC from technical perspectives, collaborate with other central banks and relevant institutions, and consider introducing a CBDC. In February, news emerged that the Central Bank of Britain, the Eurozone, Japan, Canada, Sweden, and Switzerland announced a plan to collaborate on researching issuing digital currencies. That's like from all over the globe. That indicates a coordinated effort by a organized alliance of some sort to all go into digitizing currencies at the same time. You know, and a lot of people in crypto like to think of it from the conspiracy perspective, and hey, I'm all down for a good conspiracy here and there. Not even here and there. I love a good conspiracy, but from a business standpoint, and that's where I have my expertise and my background in. From a business perspective, like, the central banks aren't just doing this to be evil. The central banks are doing this because they have to. The central banks have made very bad decisions for a very long time financially. And now we have a currency issue. There's not enough liquidity in the system. That's why central banks keep printing so much to fill all the holes. It's like we're all sitting in a boat on a lake that has a hole, and water keeps coming in, and it's bringing us down, and the water level keeps rising up to the sides of the boat. And if they get over, all the water is going to flood in, and we sink to the bottom. That is very analogous to the situation we're in with the central banks right now. The central banks, they kept interest rates too low for too long. Asset prices got inflated because no one knew the real price. There was no pricing going on for like a decade or two, really. So everyone got very excited, exorbitant prices got sky high, and here we sit at 1,000 feet high, about to drop. The central bank needs to do something extreme, drastic, because I've thought about it a million times in my head, and I can't find out how the traditional financial system can come out of this. Keyword: the traditional financial system. I'm alluding to blockchain being the next financial system. Okay, major hurdles that the Bank of Japan sees. In its report, the BOJ, which is Bank of Japan, considers two major technical hurdles: universal access and resilience. The former refers to providing accessibility to everyone, including those without a smartphone. Surprisingly, according to the Nikkei, as of 2018, only 65% of Japanese people have smartphones. I don't know if that's a Nikkei stock market. Why would they have stats on smartphone usage, but whatever. The Bank of Japan said, it is important to develop central bank currencies to be able to be to a variety of users, to be available to a variety of users. Resilience refers to offline availability when electrical power is down. The Bank of Japan emphasized the importance of accessibility in any kind of environment, even in an emergency situation such as an earthquake. Okay, and just to finish the article off, digital yen and blockchain. The BOJ is considering whether or not to use blockchain for a central bank digital currency. That's also interesting. A centralized system has the merits of having large capacities and fast transaction speeds, but the entire system can suddenly go down if there's a single point of failure. And that's another central bank voicing the same concern all the other central banks have, right? Central banks can no longer compete with decentralized blockchain-based systems. So, they have to join now. They have to adopt blockchain. But blockchain, they're running into problems here, and the Bank of Japan is admitting this. Blockchain was never meant to be centralized, and banks are only centralized. So right now, the bank is trying to work and evolve in a tool that doesn't really let them do what they want to do. Right? A bank doesn't always want to be very transparent because a bank doesn't want to tell you all of their customers. Some of their customers might be unsavory. Some of their customers might make law enforcement upset. I mean, you can think whatever you want about financial institutions. I'm not here to tell you how to feel. I'm telling you that there's evidence and you can look into it. I might do some videos on it in terms of banks participating in price rigging, in terms of banks participating in money laundering, in terms of banks participating in drug transportation. Banks don't want to be transparent. So blockchain, it's not their best friend. That's why you see JP Morgan, you see central banks, you see nations going out and trying to find ways to connect unique developed systems to public blockchains like Ethereum. I don't know Bitcoin, but using Bitcoin, compatible with Bitcoin, integrate with Ethereum, integrate with other systems. Because once you enter their blockchain, their domain, they don't want you to see nothing. I think the answer as to why that is very apparent. Right? But let's get back to Japan here. One, what does this mean? Bank of Japan is experimenting with digital yen. Well, hate to break it to you, Bank of Japan has been looking at a digital yen forever. Forever. Their people have been investing in crypto for a very long time. It is nothing new. Even the older generations are more open to it, per a survey that I think I've seen. Don't quote me on that. But as a whole, Japan has been very technology forward, very open to adoption. This is exciting stuff. You got to keep an eye on it. It is interesting to see that the Bank of Japan is talking about possibly not using blockchain, right? Because I know some of the biggest banks in Japan, are pretty invested in Ripple, and that's blockchain. So maybe some of these countries have their own proprietary method of financial data delivery, which is like an alternative to a blockchain. I'm not sure. Time will tell. I'm Dub Digital. I couldn't find my camera. I'm Dub Digital, bringing you macro trends, macro news, cryptocurrency, and putting it all nice into a package to tell you why you should care, what it means, and help you just navigate this crazy environment we find ourselves in. So, like, comment, subscribe. Talk to y'all later. Peace.